Hello, Superstar. This is Coach Larry speaking. Welcome to the Vault. I say welcome, Superstar, because I hope you are a superstar, or I hope that you're working on becoming a superstar. And the tips and thoughts and ideas that you're going to learn from the Vault will help you on your way. Today's topic, closing skills. Closing skills. If you're taking notes, I want you to write down this very important point. Closing is the natural ending to a good presentation. Closing is the natural ending to a good presentation. And natural, not an unnatural. It's the thing that should come up at the end of a presentation. A good presentation is the close. So what's a close, Coach Larry? Well, a close would be something as simple as saying, would you sign the contract, please? Would you sign the contract, please? Say it now. Would you sign the contract, please? Say it with me. Say it out loud. Would you sign the contract, please? Say it one more time. Would you sign the contract, please? Now let's step it up. Let's do it the Mike Ferry way, and let's add a smile and say, would you sign the contract, please? With a smile. Come on. Would you sign the contract, please? Look in your mirror. Say it again with a smile. Would you sign the contract, please? Let's go the little extra step and just nod your head slightly up and down. Smile and say it again. Would you sign the contract, please? Would you sign the contract, please? Closing. It's the natural ending to a good presentation. When you ask a closing question, don't speak until the prospect does. What's a closing question, Coach Larry? Well, at the end of your listing presentation, it says, now that you've seen this information, now that you've seen these prices, what price do you feel we should put on your home tonight to get a buyer to buy your property versus the competition? That's a closing question. Make sure you don't speak until the prospect does. Would you sign the contract, please? And then be quiet. Virtually, basically, just shut up. Don't speak until they do. Being a closer is a lot about a great attitude. It's a lot about enthusiasm. It's a lot about confidence and the belief than about using any strong words to intimidate or say something fancy or whatever to the prospect. You know, being a closer is it's about attitude. What's your attitude about going on an appointment and asking for them to sign the contract? Are you using a lot of enthusiasm? Are you making your presentation with a lot of enthusiasm? Do you look like you're alive, excited, and full of energy? And the confidence in knowing what to say. Are you using the Mike Ferry script? Are you following it verbatim? Do you have a copy in front of you when you're making your presentation? As you go through the points and ask the questions, are you checking them off? It's about attitude, enthusiasm, and confidence. Let's try it one more time. Would you sign the contract, please? Are you smiling? Are you nodding your head up and down? Let's say it one more time. Would you sign the contract, please? If you follow the listing presentation verbatim, and you are sitting in front of a pre-qualified and motivated seller, the close is quite simple. When you haven't pre-qualified them and you don't know their motivation, the close is very difficult and in a lot of cases never takes place at all. Somebody's going to sell somebody on something. Either you're going to sell them on listing their home with you, or they're going to sell you on their not listing with you. But if you follow the listing presentation verbatim, take it with you. Always assume that they're going to sign your contract at the end of your presentation. Always assume that. You can make this assumption by following your script, by nodding, by smiling, by staying on track, and by asking a lot of questions. A few years ago, I had the great opportunity to coach Karen Bernardi, that great listing agent out in Colorado. And Karen had a very high hit ratio on the appointments that she went on versus the listings that she took. I mean, she got a lot of contracts signed, and I asked her, I said, what are you doing to get your hit ratio that high? And she said, well, I use the scripts verbatim, but she said, I have this little affirmation that I use on my way to my appointment. I said, well, what do you say to yourself? She said, well, I'm assuming I'm going to get that contract signed. So she said, as I leave my office and I'm heading to my appointment, I'm chanting to myself, I'm going to get this listing, I'm going to price it right, and it's going to sell. I'm going to get this listing, I'm going to price it right, it's going to sell. I'm going to get this listing, I'm going to price. And she said, I drive over there, it might take me 10 or 15 minutes, I'm chanting over and over and over. I pull into to my listing, in front of my listing, as I'm getting out of the car, I'm going to get this listing, I'm going to price it right, it's going to sell. I'm walking up to the door, I'm going to get this listing, I'm going to price it right, and it's going to sell. Ding dong, I ring the doorbell as I'm waiting for the sellers to open the door. I'm chanting to myself, I'm going to get this listing, I'm going to price it right, and it's going to sell. Do you think Karen is assuming that they're going to sign a contract at the end of her presentation? For sure she is. So make sure you're assuming they're going to get that contract signed and they're going to sign it with you. Okay? Don't be afraid to smile and use humor to break the tension that takes place in a closing situation. If you're out in the desert and you got bit by a rattlesnake, you're going to die unless you get the antidote. Well, it's the same when you're making a presentation. You're going to ask somebody to sign a contract. That they feel that little, a little uptight. They feel that little nervousness, uncomfortableness. The antidote for that is a smile. Don't be afraid to keep it light. Use a little bit of humor to break that tension. You'll be surprised how it works. Remember, they invited you to their home for a reason. Your job now is to make a presentation, follow the script, and get a contract signed. This decision is always made as a business decision. Do we hire this person or do we not hire this person? So make sure you make a good business presentation. Follow the script verbatim. Hi, thanks for having me over. I'm excited about getting your home on the market and getting it. Follow the script verbatim. What price do you feel we should use to create value in the eyes of a buyer, get someone to decide to buy your home versus the competition when you finish your CMA? Now that you've seen these prices, I'm going to recommend a price of blank. Will you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, list your home with me for that price tonight? And the close, all we need to do now is simply sign the contract so I can help you get what you want in the time you want. Won't that be great? And you should be nodding your head and smiling and look them right in the eye and say, all we need to do now is simply sign the contract, please, with a smile. Hope these tips, hope these thoughts have helped you. Happy selling. Have a great day, superstar.